So number one, and it's also nice to see that he is a Nina player, and immediately you see, well, I recognize she's the best in the game. So he keeps it very honest and nice. There's no downplay. I like that. This is where I feel like he was smoking some real awesome stuff. Can I have some of that stuff? What's up guys, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and that's pretty cool that the best Tekken player in the world, he's in a little bit of a slump, but you know, he's still the 5 times Evo champion, you know, that's a lot of titles. I still think Pakistan coming to Tekken as a region is like the coolest thing to ever happen to competitive Tekken. It was so cool. It was all about, you know, the US, Japan, and Korea for the longest. It was kind of dull. That was a shakeup we needed. But Arslan has made a new tier list. I'm seeing it now for the very first time, so I thought I could just look at it and just react to his placements. He typically has a few hot takes, I think, but typically it's pretty straightforward. And I have my epic pen here, so I can make comments. So first off, in S tier, we have Nina as the best character in the game, and I can only agree. I've said it a few times lately that she is perfectly all-round. People now feel that Dragunov has received enough nerfs to not be top 1 anymore, and I think that's accurate. So people now typically say either Yoshi is the best or Nina is the best. Nina has the best complete package. She has everything, every single tool a character could need, and then some. And then super OP frames, best poking in the game, best rushdown in the game. So number one, and it's also nice to see that he is a Nina player, and immediately you see, well, I recognize she's the best in the game. So he keeps it very honest and nice. There's no downplay. I like that. And then we have Yoshi. I can only agree. Yoshi is super dumb. And what we need to see on Yoshi is damage nerfs. You can't have that toolkit. Again, he's not as all-round as Nina. No. But he just has a couple of tools where you're like, okay, this is like the craziest launcher in the game. Why does he do this much damage? That's the thing that just doesn't make sense. It goes into like game-breaking territory. So Yoshi, I absolutely agree. And then he puts actually Jin at top 3. I would typically put him at like top 5, 6, but I cannot disagree. It's a flawless character. Just take his poking. Don't even look at his 50-50, his evasion, his launchers, his counter hits, his perfect throw game, his Oki, his heat. All of that aside, just look at his poking. Jab range, down for 1 range, 2-1-4, back to 1, up for 2. It's remarkable that a character like this exists, to be honest. But yeah, I can only agree that he would be high. I don't know if I would put him top 3, but for sure he's up there. Dragunov had some substantial nerfs lately in back 4-3, second hit losing its basically homing property. Down 2 took a 3 damage nerf and went from 17 to 14. That's a very crucial attack, but because that is his key low. It's not hatchet, it's down 2. So that hurt his tracking, and it hurt his low game. Sneak 4 no longer wall splats. Nice. Still an OP move. Still, even with those nerfs, it's warranted to put him this high. Very high damage. He has very good, pretty much everything. He's too oppressive. And to be honest, Sneak 4 is the biggest problem still. It might not wall splat anymore, but it's still dumb enough that, like, large part of the reason he is up here, I think, is due to Sneak 4. And then we have Feng Wei at top 5. I don't feel personally he is top 5 due to his limitations in terms of damage, and then the nerfs he took to his heat and his back-turned mix-ups. That was enough for me to warrant him going down. I think he's a little bit too complicated. Still a strong tournament character. It's like, I can't disagree too much here. It's like, it's only a few placings of difference. And if he feels his toolkit, if you master it properly, is top 5, I would say there's definitely an argument here. And then Alyssa is at A+. It's a really dumb character. And as Chanel said, the only thing that can beat Alyssa now is a patch. And I thought that was pretty funny. She is super dumb, but we don't see her too much in tournaments. And I think it's because a lot of tournament players just don't want to play her. They find her lame, you know, be it visually or gameplay. And then Claudio, I also put really high in my tier list. I think he's absolutely one of the best characters in the game. And also one of the characters I hope don't go under the radar too much with the balancing team. And that he gets toned down. I feel like people don't talk about him enough. Every round, you know, he has much more damage than you think. I even get surprised anytime I get launched at how much damage he deals. And then his wall situation, guessing between back one and his heat smash is it's insufferable. I don't know why he's allowed that mix up every single round. Extremely basic, simple, no execution, and some of the best attacks in the game, like fundamental attacks. I think if these characters get nerfed, you're gonna see a heck of a lot more of Claudio and Shaheen. Shaheen, of course, super strong. Talked about him in my top 10 characters that need nerfs. Just like Claudio, super basic, super all-round, but he's even more all-round than Claudio. He has better poking. He has a very nice 50-50 with his slide. Also has a strong hop kick like Claudio. Has a down for 2. Claudio does not have that, you know, the generic down for 2, and Shaheen has a really good one. And then, of course, his full crouch mix-ups, his charge up on block, an insane collection of awesome buttons. He also goes into heat, does the charge up on block, gives a guaranteed, what is it, forward back 2, 30 damage throw attack that removes all of your recoverable health. And he has another safe mid to remove recoverable health. It's weird that certain characters are allowed such tools, but a lot of other characters don't have such tools at all. Recoverable health is such a strong mechanic in this game. I don't know why Nina and Shaheen, they snuff out your recoverable health every time they take a breath. For most characters, that doesn't work. And now we have Brian in the top 10, actually, in the top 9. I didn't put him in top 10. I think I put Brian in like top 11, but top 9, I can definitely see it. Judging from a tweet he made not long ago, I actually thought Arslan felt Brian was top 5, but it's okay. I'm happy to see he doesn't feel that's the case, because when I saw that tweet, I was like, there's no way if they nerf these 4 characters, tournament players are gonna go with Brian. That's not happening. We're gonna go with Shaheen, Claudio, Fengwei. Absolutely. So here it's nice to see his actual thoughts on this, and I assume he would agree. But yeah, Brian, very difficult to pilot, but has a lot of fucking bullshit. Has highest damage in the game. I think he actually goes even above Kuma. I think he is highest damage in the game. Requiem and Core Circle back 1, that neutral, those two combined is one of the most oppressive situations. He might not have the best poking, but it's decent enough. And you never want to really challenge him due to counter it launching follow-ups. And again, when he goes into heat, Requiem is disgusting. Incinerator is disgusting. Soul Eraser is a move a lot of intermediates have a problem with. You know, 3-4 into charge up. Not much of a problem in a high-level Tekken. In high-level Tekken, it's all about Incinerator in heat. Limitless potential. And then, of course, Taunt. Low is absolutely ridiculous. I would have put him maybe higher, but again, it would only be a few placings of difference. What happens when you take, you know, Low with DSS, Dragon Sign Stance? Oh my god, look at that guy. He's been practicing Low for 5 years. So when he hits you with a while setting 4, he's plus 17 frames. What happens when everyone, including Billy Buttfuck, with 60 IQ gets access to those types of frames? Well, lo and behold, you have Tekken 8, and it's absolutely insane. And of course, best heat in the game, most likely. Could be Kazuya, but I think you just can't compete with a 10-frame hit confirmable launcher. And that nunchuck. So low, I can only agree. And now we're gonna get into the first where I go, Hwoarang is really good, but I don't know if... And again, I'm about to critique Arslan Ash, who's about 100 times better than me at Tekken. But Hwoarang being here is a little bit surprising to me. I would put him probably somewhere around here. and more than just a few placings apart. Or would I do something similar? This would be top 11. No, I don't think I would do this, because I think King here, for example, is significantly better than Hwoarang. Reina is better than Hwoarang. Lily is better than Hwoarang, I think. So well, or somewhere similar. So here's my probably first real disagreement with the list. I just don't see him having that type of neutral where he should be here. He has a very strong defensive neutral and like down for 2, back 3, you whiff anything. That's probably the best whiff punisher in the game, Hwoarang's back 3. Or it could be Asuka and June's forward 2. But defensively he has a lot going on. But when he wants to initiate, I feel like a lot of the time it's a bit difficult. Everything is getting stepped outside of running in and doing a clean jab, or doing right foot forward into down forward 3, his Dragon Lash. But I think that's a bit telegraphed with the motion switch. An oppressive character, good heat. I like the counter hits into Flappy into 1,000,000 damage. He can even do it from a 10 frame. I don't know if anyone Twitch confirms that. I hear Kwis can Twitch confirm that. I just don't know if it's legit. I don't know. I feel like... And they nerfed down 3-4. So now you have guaranteed 16 frames of interrupt. That was a huge nerf. To be honest, I feel like in some ways, like Tekken 7, Hwoarang is better. Down 3-4 is so oppressive. You know, down 3-4, right flamingo, back 3. -10, of course, but it's always a chunky launcher in Tekken 7. So I feel like his 50-50 utility is weaker. Don't get me wrong, I put this character pretty high on my list. But is Hwoarang top 11? I don't know, but again, it's Arslan Ash. It's not a gigantic disagreement, I think. But I'm gonna put my first, this means, And now we have Steve, and this is also an interesting one. Steve is now here top 12. This is a really hard character to put on a tier list, because I feel like there's such a massive difference between your average Steve and a tournament player Steve. Like the elite Steve players, because they will make him look broken with that back one. And the way they use his duck cancels, outfox, 1-1, mind gaming his frames, mind gaming his stances, knowing exactly when to press. And also, you know, in tournaments, people tend to poke a lot, press more. Steve's back one really stands out in this game. And if you're on point with sidesteps, Steve's back-turned punishment is just the best in the game, I think. So it's like, if a player is competent enough, the character can do crazy things. But he also took a lot of nerfs coming into this game. Like his 50-50 utility is bad, his comeback ability, henceforth, with the nerf to 50-50 utility is bad. Relies too much on people pressing. If someone has a life lead, he'll run in and maybe do like Lionheart mix-ups, guard break, etc. He's a much more polarizing character in this game, in my opinion. He was more all-round in Tekken 7. And of course, down for 2 no longer being a countered launcher, that was massive. His punishment is not good. He has no standing launcher, back 2 doesn't launch anymore. I don't know, is he really top 12? That feels a bit weird to me. But I do know they have amazing Steve talent in Pakistan. Numan counter hit and Hira Malik. Especially Numan, I think, makes the character look broken. And actually won a significant event in Pakistan. Would I put Steve above King? Or even Victor Kuma? I think Kuma is stronger than Steve, but I don't know. Let's see, where is my yellow pen? But, you know, it's debatable. It's debatable. So he has a very unique toolset. And if a player is a god, but so it's gonna be a big ol' King, this is where I'm actually gonna go straight hard disagree. I think King is insanely fucking strong in this game. Down for 2-1 is hilariously OP. Every character lost that tool, he keeps it, and it's Twitch confirmable. We have to remove that window. That's super generous. Boof! Oh, I think I gotta counter it. Pff, and you add it, so you're perfectly safe. -6 on block. Muscle armor is insane. Forward neutral 2 is insane. His poking is very strong. His punishment is strong. His shove is very strong. Did I mention his throw game? Did I mention giant swing? Did I mention his heat? Did I mention his heat smash? Did I mention his combos into Shining Wizard Oki on the ground where you can forward 4 that beats every get up option outside of Muscu-Tech quickstand or stay on the ground? And the counter property on throws is Blue Spark throws, 7 throw break window on counter hit. It's ridiculously strong. Of course, you need a strong player. Yeah, this is going to be a hard disagree. And then now we are on Victor, and this is interesting because I feel like typically Arslan would put Victor higher due to being a super basic character, having some nice tools I know tournament players like a very consistent long range down for 2, the most signature bullshit power crush in the game in his back 1+2. You know what I'm talking about. Safe on block. You bake all of these properties into one attack. It might be a high, but it's safe on block, it's a power crush, and it's a heat engager. This is my biggest hard disagree with Tekken 8 in general. You can't put that many attributes into one attack. It's just too much. And then, of course, his heat with Expulsion, while running 2 into lie stance, into mix-ups, broken wall combo in jab. Is it forward 4-2 into lie, down 2? Broken. His combos are best wall travel in the game, I think. It's not Lee, I think it's Victor. And down back 4 is a super long range, low counter hit launcher. Doesn't even really need lows. It's very tricky with his poking due to it being weapons, so you can't low parry, can't parry. Has some awesome counter hit launchers. 1+2, while standing 2. His down 2 is insane. You know what, I'm just gonna... Maybe I would put him somewhere along the same spot. Because he does have weaknesses. Aside of down back 4, he doesn't have too many awesome lows. And his poking isn't really all of that. But yeah, very strong character. Kuma should probably go higher. I'm going to go a hard disagree here. But this is a mistake I think I made in my tier list as well. I just underestimated him. Didn't put him high enough. His heat is just... again, I'm just going to say hilariously OP. I don't want to say that too many times, but it's so fucking dumb when he goes into heat. His charge ups, his chip damage, on electric you can do nothing about. A 13 frame heat smash that hits grounded, that's super evasive. It's like a Ling AOP. His wall combo, down for 1-2, 1+2 into guaranteed ass. His whiff punish, his counter hits. They improved his neutral so much with, what is it, forward back 2. Or is it, no, it's back forward 2. That counter hit launching high. Too much damage, too much dumb shit. Now that character's dumb. And then Xiaoyu was overrated in vanilla Tekken 8. I also put her quite a bit lower in my tier list. Hypnotist is still giga broken and dumb, but... yeah, I'm gonna give this one a green check mark. Reina. This is gonna be a hard disagree from me. Top 17 Reina. It's only a few placings off. Where did I put Reina? Top 10? Slightly outside of top 10? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give this one, but... like, I would love to hear what his explanation for this one, but I would disagree. She should be higher up. She has problems, but she lows and tracking sometimes, but she's very, very strong. It's just that you have to be really good. Zafina, I would see somewhere around here, I think. And Lily here. I think this is underestimating Lily, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with... I think he's underestimating her a little bit. Again, best movement in the game, some of the best defensive tools in the game. Has a nice set of moves. Like forward 4 is a Jin, forward 4 counter hit launcher, safe. Oh, there's a lot of cool counter hit launchers. Has a nice G-clef. Has some nice heat mix-ups, 50-50 utility. Decent enough poking. But it's the defense. It's having the best sidestep in the game by far into the best moves in the game to take advantage of someone whiffing. Yeah, I don't know. I would put Lily higher. Paul, I would probably put lower on the list, but I know Numan Counter It is also playing Paul in Pakistan, and he's doing a great job. So I'm gonna go just, okay. Like, I can see where you're at, and if he thinks he's like mid-tier, I can buy that. June. Okay. What is June's biggest problem? She doesn't have an unseeable or a knockdown low. She doesn't have a power low. And she doesn't have a 15 frame standing launcher. Those are drawbacks. Outside of that, though, she is pretty fucking strong. And her heat is not talked about enough. Her heat is fucking insane. 12 frame fucking Sabaki that's hit confirmable into launch. Her forward 2 is now safe. Her forward 2 is now safe. You can confirm into launch with a heat dash. And her fucking, 13 frame projectile heat smash. And she has a lot of good stuff. But I'm going to give a green check mark because I can see his problems with the character as well. So I think that's pretty fair. She also sacrifices a bit of health here and there, which is also a factor. And then we have Heihachi. Heihachi has a lot of fucking problems. He has a lot of problems. But he also has a lot of nice things. He can go final boss for 1 round. He has electric. He does a fuck ton of damage. He has the best punishment in the game. That's nice. It's just that everything else is rocket scientist. You have no tracking. Someone just stumbles a bit to the side, like 2 pixels, and you whiff. Homing moves are bad. Lows are atrocious. I don't see him getting a lot of tournament play, to be honest. I don't know if you guys saw Joka try to play him in a tournament, but it was frustrating to watch. And it was exactly what I expected. Like, in the neutral, Joka was like, can't really commit to anything. It was like, I'm going to try a Rao Thrust, forward 1+2. That's what he tried. I would have tried to control the neutral with forward 3 or back 4, depending on how my opponent likes to move. But again, it has to be said, that's still super risky. Forward 3 is not safe anymore. It's a fucking mind game on block. But he tries to Rao Thrust, but pretty much every time Raif, and Jin would step that. And now you get canned or 2-4. So it's just, it's a struggle, Unless people play really careless, you struggle quite a bit with Heihachi. But I can also, due to his sheer damage output, his mix-up potential, and his best defense in the game, or punishes in the game, I can see him here. Jack, I probably would have put lower, to be honest. Oh, and I just saw this now, and I'm just like, all right. Although I've seen Meo-Il play Jack, I've seen Anakin play Jack, I've seen Joe Crush, extremely good with Jack. But I feel like that's more those guys being like Tekken geniuses than Jack being highly competitive. Probably wouldn't put Jack around here. He does have a 10 frame heat smash. His down for 2 is nice. Full crouch down back 1 remains nice. His throws are great. But I would, to be honest, put this character lower. So here I'm going to go with the... But I can still see it. It's not a hard disagree. Okay, we're approaching the bottom 10 though. I mean, this is what? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kazuya in bottom 10. This is where I feel like he was smoking some real awesome stuff. Can I have some of that stuff? Eddie here. Okay, you know what? Has some nice stuff. Lydia, I think, is a stretch. Putting her here. I think Lydia is weaker than this, but it's gonna be a he can probably justify it in some nice way. And now it's going to be a hard disagree. I put Kazuya in like top 10, top 11 in my list, right outside the top 10. I'm just gonna say what I think this is. Arslan put Kazuya low on tier lists in Tekken 7. And I always agreed. I was like, yeah, this is not a competitive character. The character didn't even have a neutral in Tekken 7. And the reason I think he puts him here now is because I feel like this is a character Arslan would never want to play in a tournament. This character relies on 50-50s. I know Arslan doesn't like that. It's high risk, high reward. Arslan also likes oppressive poking, moving around, chipping at the opponent. Kazuya can't do that. Kazuya does not have poking. Kazuya is now Devil Fist, Electric, 50-50, Steel Pedal, Oki, best heat in the game, arguably, probably after Law, into an enhanced Devil Fist, into Hell Sweep that does 45 damage, hard knockdown into a disgusting situation, hit confirmable, down back 1-2, making it safe, down for 1-2, Shikue, a character that does not have panic buttons, gets one of the best panic buttons suddenly, down back 1-2 can OTG at the wall, Muskutek, Patricide Fist is an absurd button. Kazuya can now wave dash into a mid that wall splats for huge damage, and it's +5 on block and does chip. If he's allowed to wind up his swing, it's the best swings in the game, but you need to commit for 20 frames. Anything smaller than that, smaller Tekken, not that good. But as soon he's allowed that time, you know, be it you've been knocked down and now you're standing up, holy shit. So this is going to be a hard disagree. Kazuya is not bottom 10 in my opinion. I can see where Arslan Ash is coming from, but against a really good Kazuya player, you're just not gonna be able to get those reads, I think. They're too good at mixing, and when they get the mix-ups correctly, it's just so much fucking damage. The combo damage post-patch 105, it hurts so much. The Oki is so strong, and his punishment is super good. I just don't see this at all. I can see where he's coming from, but it's just, this is a massive disagree. And this is interesting to me because this character also relies on 50-50 mix-ups. He has one of those stupid high heat engager power crushes in that kick, you know. He has that dumb shit that I don't like. But these two have a very similar game plan. He's also trying, outside of that heat smash, he's also just trying to set up his mix-ups. Take my relax now 50-50. Tries to set that up all the time. You've probably seen an Eddie. It's just that this guy does that same thing, but 5 times better in my opinion. It's just that this guy has no execution. I guess you could say that this guy is perhaps more reliable because most people would do the best with him. But if your name is Keisuke, or if your name is Ni, you're that rare instance of someone who can pilot these fuckers at the highest level of play. Like, these are, both of them are close to, like, not god characters, but they're S tier, both of them, at the maximum capacity. When Keisuke has a good day, it's like, it's almost unstoppable. So I feel they're quite similar in that. They're only held back by the pilot. And then we are at Leo, a character no one cares about, but there was a Leo that posted to Reddit a while ago saying, oh, I get so sad when they don't want to talk about my character. And you really can't blame content creators here because it's a very bland and boring character. And I feel like a lot of people just agree that we can't even bother with the character, and you play against the character too seldom. But Leo has some nice stuff, very all round, does everything reasonably well. When I put Leo here, I don't know, I just don't have much of an opinion. Now he's happy, and all the Leo mains are happy now. Nice. So this is gonna be an agree. Leroy, I remember when he got his big buffs, even Dusty L said he's S tier now, but still, we don't really see Leroy, but it's a very easy character, basic, relies a bit too much maybe on people not knowing the matchup and doing down 3-2 50-50s. So this one is gonna get a pass from me. And now we are on the tier that is called Trash. So all of these characters are garbage, apparently. Raven is pretty garbage. Yes. Nah, I gotta disagree here. She has strong tools. She has a good 50-50. Downford 1 series is still pretty damn good. Has an orbital. Downford 2 is good. Libertador stance is strong. Has that bullshit power crush. So does Lee, of course, but... or wait, am I exaggerating now? And what does she have? A good 10 frame. 1-2. If they have the same case I could make for her, I could make for Raven. You know what? I'm gonna do a pass on this one. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna take his judgment here. Asuka is trash. I think Asuka is the weakest character in the game. Lars is garbage. Lars mains are kind of cool here, I think, in that they almost get offended when the character's put so low. Lars is just not a good character. Lars has really good defensive utility. If you press into him, he's really good. And his block punish is really good. It's just that when he wants to mix you up, it just feels like a crap Hwoarang a bit. It just feels like a shit Hwoarang. And too much of his stuff is option selectable in a pretty easy way. He can be really annoying to play against, but Lars is not a strong character. And then we have Lee. I've had a lot of fun with Lee lately. I feel like Lee players also like Lars players. They don't like hearing that their character is weak, but Lee is not good. I don't know if I would put him bottom 3, though. I would definitely say he's better than Asuka, but I think he's better than Raven as well. But it comes down to your personal preference. Just like Lars, you have some of the best defensive utility, be it block punish or, whiff punish. But compared to Lars, like, this guy has counter hits stuff, right? Counter hit launchers. Lars doesn't. Lee just like Asuka relies too much on impatient players pressing into him. If you go up against a strong defensive player playing Lee, you're gonna start throwing his subpar lows. You're gonna start throwing a slide which doesn't knock down. You're gonna start doing back 3-3, which is nowhere near as good as some Lee players think it is. It's actually unbelievably fucking risky using that move for not a whole lot of payoff. Poking, not very good. The most interesting part of him, in my opinion, is countered launch into very high damage, into some of the most fun to utilize setups at the wall, where you can do some super interesting Oki setups. And that's probably his greatest strength, I think, outside of his punishment. So I might not put him exactly here, but he would be somewhere in the bottom for sure. And then we have Devil Jin. Devil Jin is probably bottom 5, I would put him. And it's mostly due to his down for 1 being atrocious, his poking being atrocious. His 50-50 is significantly weaker than Kazuya's. The only thing he has going for him now is like trick-based utility and the question of, do you know what I'm doing? Have you seen this setup? Momo is like an exceptional Tekken player. Like, he is so good at Tekken for fundamental skills. But so much of the utility Momo gets out of this character is hoping you haven't seen the next setup he throws your way. And chances are you haven't seen it, because most people who bother with this character, they don't really play him properly. They just throw a back 3 or a samsara or a parry, and then they try to 50-50 you. And then when they're in heat, they try to land a Psycho Crusher, basically. But anyone who spent more time specializing with Devil Jin, it's actually a scary matchup. And you're gonna lose a lot, especially in a 1-2 format. It's really, really obnoxious. But when you go to Evo and you're gonna play against Arslan, and he probably knows all of your fucking setups and all of your frames, you're almost fighting one-armed. His neutral is so limited, and he's so punishable if you fuck up. So yeah, this is just going to be an agree, obviously. I do want to stress again that I don't agree with saying trash though, because all the characters are strong in this game. That's how they chose to balance this game. There are no trash characters. There were trash characters in Tekken 7, like Gigas, for example. There are no trash characters in Tekken 8. We can sit here and speak super negatively about this guy, and then you go online and, oh, electric, that's a bad move, right? And then combos you to the wall, and then what's he doing? Why is his arm glowing? Insanely broken charge-up punch. This character is not going to feel very trash when you go up against a Devil Jin online, I can assure you of that. And then Panda is going to get an agree because the character is redundant. You would instead play Kuma, who is the superior version of the same character. So I mean, yeah, okay, that's my reaction to his tier list. I would say it's mostly agrees, right? How many hard disagrees? 3 hard disagrees. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where I would go like, oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta say, there's not a whole lot of hot takes here. I think the most obvious, like, what the fuck, in my opinion, is this one. And probably this one. King should be higher, Kazuya should be way higher. Those are the biggest, like, what the fuck. But so I hope you enjoyed my little reaction to Arslan's tier list. Hope you have a great day. Take care.